Hello friends, in this video lecture I want to take the details of pipeline architecture of Intel 80386DX processor. In the earlier video lecture I have differentiated between two versions of 386 processor, namely 386DX and 386SX. Now here, from this lecture onwards, I will be taking only the details of 80386DX processor, which is Intel's first 32-bit pipeline microprocessor. Now let us start. This pipeline architecture of 386DX processor, it contains total 6 internal units called as a pipeline units. And those pipeline units, I want to show it in their proper logical sequence. So here is the first unit, which is bus interface unit, which is shown on extreme right on the bottom side. From this bus interface unit, that external buses are shown on the right side. To the left of this bus interface unit, here is a prefetch unit. The prefetch unit, the second unit of that pipeline structure, it contains internally two sections, the basic prefetch unit and the prefetch queue of 16 bytes. So this is the second pipeline section, pipeline unit of that 80386DX processor. Now to the left of that prefetch unit will be decode unit. This decode unit, it internally contains instruction decoder and instruction queue. So these three stages of that pipeline architecture, which will appear on the bottom side and then on the top side. After decode unit, just above you will find that execution unit, the fourth unit of that pipeline structure. And this execution unit, it contains 32 bits of ALU, then 64 bits of barrel shifter and a register file, general purpose register file. On the right side of that execution unit, there is a common memory management unit, MMU. Now why I have stated as a common? Because it contains internally two pipeline units here, segment unit and paging unit. That segment unit, it contains the basic segment unit and segment descriptor cache. And segmentation will be always performed in case of Intel's processor. That's why this operation will be always considered in every memory access here. Whereas the next section of that memory management unit is paging unit, which contains internally page unit and page descriptor cache. This is optional one. Optional in that sense, processor may perform paging operation or may not, and it is entirely decided by the user. So these are the 6 pipeline units or pipeline sections of 80386DX processor from the Intel. Now let us elaborate one by one. So on my next slide, here I want to take some of the details of that bus interface unit, BIU. first function of that BIU is communicating with external devices. What type of devices which are enlisted here? Like memory device, IO device, then IO processors, IOPs, numeric data processor, that is NDP, etc. Okay, it is quite obvious that BIU is the only unit which is having external buses. It clearly means that whenever in the operation of 386DX some external information is to be taken, it comes through that externally connected bus. Or whenever some result data is to be copied, that also uses that external buses. It means that the communication with external devices is always possible through BIU. Then the next function here is addressing external devices. Okay, this term addressing is a bit misleading. This BIU will not be responsible for generation of addresses here, like 8086. Okay, here this BIU will be just addressing that external devices. That address is generated by internal memory management unit. Okay, so this is the second function of that 80386DX processor here. Then the third function is relocating memory addresses, that is memory relocation. Okay, sometimes it is essential to relocate the contents of one section of memory to another section of memory by generating successive memory addresses and sending out those addresses to external devices. So this BIU along with memory management unit can perform that necessary memory relocation which is required at a particular instance. So these are three basic functions of that BIU in case of 386DX processor here. Now here is a question which has been highlighted. Okay, in the pin configuration of 386DX processor, which I have not shown till now, and probably I will not explain it, then why the external buses are dedicated in that pin configuration? Why the external buses are dedicated or already demultiplexed in case of 386DX processor? It is just because that 386DX processor, it comes with 132 pins PGA package, and though that number of 132 is sufficiently large to have the separate address bus of 32-bit, separate data bus of 32-bit, and ample number of control signals here. Okay, if sufficient number of pins are available in that pin configuration or package, then why to carry out unnecessarily multiplexing? Because anyway, multiplex buses need to be demultiplexed before we interface memory and the relevant IO devices. Okay, that's why you can observe it sufficiently large number of pins are available so that there is no need of multiplex signals here. So dedicated separated address bus, data bus and various control signals are designed in the pin configuration of 386DX processor. Now, the second unit in the pipeline architecture of 386DX is the prefetch unit. The function of that prefetch unit is appearing here. It prefetches the instructions from memory via BIU. It clearly means that prefetch unit, it works along with that BIU in order to carry out instruction prefetch here. And once those instructions are prefetched, where these instructions are copied, these are copied. Okay, instructions copied into 16 bytes of prefetch queue, which is the integral part of that prefetch unit itself. Earlier in case of 8086 processor, that prefetch queue was just 6 byte. Here it is 16 byte. So more number of instruction bytes can be prefetched and copied here before the actual execution starts. Now what is the size of each of that prefetch operation here? In case of 386DX, every instruction prefetch will be 32 bits per cycle. Why? Because the size of external data bus, it always governs or decides the size of every prefetch operation here. The size of external data bus is 32 bit. So while prefetching, that entire data bus will be used so that every prefetch will be 32 bits per cycle, per prefetch cycle. Whereas whenever data transfers to be performed through that same data bus, in that case it can be either 8 bit or it can be 16 bit or 32 bit per cycle, per read or write cycle for that corresponding data. It means that data transfer, its size within that read or write cycle here, it entirely depends on one particular instruction which we use. Okay, it allows, 386DX allows the data transfers which can be 8 bit, 16 bit or 32 bit. Okay, in the instruction set it allows 8 bit, 16 bit, 32 bits of data transfer operation. That's why through that external data bus, whenever data transfers to be performed, read or write operations to be performed pertaining to that data, in that case it can be 8 bit, 16 bit or 32 bit per cycle, but instruction prefetch will be always 32 bit per cycle. It clearly means that whenever there is a vacancy of 4 bytes within that prefetch queue, 4 byte means 32 bit, then and then only prefetch unit will request BIU to carry on next prefetch of 32 bit here, next prefetch of 4 byte. If there is vacancy within that prefetch queue of less than 4 byte, like say 3 byte, 2 byte, in that case no prefetch operation will be initiated here. Now here is one question highlighted. In case of 80386DX processor, data transfers are given more priority than instruction prefetch. This is the fact. But why? Why the data transfers are given more priority? It is just because whatever data generated after processing, the data must be returned to the destination, otherwise it will be lost by next generated data, by overwriting the next generated data. It means that whatever result data generated must be copied to destination so that next data which is being generated, that will not overwrite the earlier one. Whereas in case of prefetch operation can be a bit delayed. Why? Because we are having that prefetch queue inside. So there will be at least few bytes within that prefetch queue, which can be subsequently supplied for the decode and execution and rest of the pipeline operations. Okay, the performance of the processor will not be hampered because of this, because instructions which are available within that prefetch queue, that can be supplied to other units for execution purpose. But if the data generated is not copied immediately within that destination, in that case probably my next data generated by the next instruction will overwrite the earlier one. Okay, that's why data transfers are always given more priority than that of instruction prefetch. Next, the third pipeline unit will be decode unit. Now this decode unit of 386DX processor, it contains 3-DIP instruction decoder. What I mean? 3-DIP instruction decoder, it means that it can decode 3 instructions simultaneously. At a time, 3 instructions can be taken from the prefetch queue and can be decoded. Okay, in a non-technical sense, we can say there are 3 parallel decoders. One each will be decoding a separate instruction. So simultaneously 3 instructions can be decoded just to speed up the operation of decoding, just to speed up the operation of instruction decoding or instruction interpretation. Then the next point here, that decoded instructions are copied into instruction queue, which works in a FIFO manner. Okay, all the decoded instructions will be copied to instruction queue, which is a part, integral part of that decode unit itself. Okay, as shown in the architecture of this 386DX, that decode unit internally contains 2 sections here, instruction decoder and instruction queue. So once that decoding carried out by 3-DIP instruction decoder, those simultaneously decoded 3 instructions will be copied to instruction queue, which works in first in first out manner, FIFO manner, as we know. One question highlighted, what is the size of instruction queue? No, the size of instruction queue is not disclosed by Intel. Okay, some of the design details by the Intel Corporation are not disclosed, and this is one of the feature, that size of instruction queue, which is not disclosed by Intel. That's why in any literature you will not find the size of instruction queue of say so many bytes in case of 386DX processor. Okay, no, it is not disclosed. Then the fourth pipeline unit is execution unit. This execution unit, it executes that decoded instructions which are taken from that decode unit, and that execution takes place inside 32 bits of ALU. That is what stated here, executes instruction inside 32-bit ALU. But one thing is to be remembered, the instructions must be decoded and made available from that decode unit. Now during the execution of the instruction, from where that input data taken from? That input data is taken from that integer register file within that execution unit itself, or that data can be taken from the external memory by requesting to BIU. to get that particular data, to receive that particular data. It means that that data which we want to process, it can be taken either from integer register file, or that data can be taken from external memory by putting a request to BIU to get that particular data. Now once that execution is where that particular result is to be copied, result data is to be copied, that result data is either copied to register file, integer register file, or that result data can be given back to BIU through internal bus, 32 bits of internal bus, and it can be copied to external memory location here. Of course, that memory location must be generated by that memory management unit. It means that whenever result is to be copied to external memory, or even that input data is to be taken from external memory, that generation of memory address must be done by that memory management unit along with that BIU. Now, within that execution unit, there is 64-bit barrel shifter that is used to improve the speed of execution of multiply, divide, rotate and shift instructions. Okay, it is a barrel shifter which is totally different from a normal shift register. Normal shift register can perform shifting by 1 bit in one clock, but barrel shifter can perform multiple bit shifting in a single clock. So that way it can certainly improve that speed of execution, like say multiplication, division, rotate or shift, where shifting of bits are required here and there. Now the question is, why the size of barrel shifter 64-bit? It is just because in the extreme operation, my operands can be 32-bit. Say for example, multiply operation, 32-bit multiply by 32-bit. So my product happens to be 64-bit, and this particular partial product after internal iterations need to be shifted. That's why barrel shifter must be of 64-bit, because the partial product in the process of multiplication, which is of 64-bit, need to be shifted. Okay, that's why size of this barrel shifter is 64-bit. Okay, in case if we are dealing with say smaller sized operands, in that case only the lower part of that barrel shifter will be operational, the upper part will be filled with all zeros that time. Okay, this question which is highlighted has been already explained by me just now. Now, the last two units of that pipeline operation is segmentation and paging unit, which are basically a part of memory management unit here. So this is stated that is a built-in memory management unit, MMU. Now let us explore here about segmentation unit. As we know that segmentation unit, it performs segment address translation. Here is a bit different concept here. The segment address translation, it converts logical address to linear, which is a bit different from that of 8086. 8086, that segment translation means that logical address is converted to physical address, but here it is not like that. Logical is converted to linear address. I will explain later on in my next coming video lectures. This logical address is the segment register, which is of 16-bit, and the offset that can be either 16-bit or 32-bit depending on the mode of operation of 386DX processor. Here it is elaborated that 16-bit offset is used for real mode operation and 32-bit offset is used for protected mode operation of 80386DX processor. Okay, these two modes I want to explain in my next forthcoming video lectures. Now the second unit of memory management, that is paging unit. And the last unit in that pipeline architecture is a paging unit, which is not supported in real mode. It means that paging is not available in real mode. It is available only in the protected mode operation of 80386DX processor. And even in case of protected mode, as stated just now, it is optional. In the protected mode, the user can enable that paging mechanism, paging unit with PG bit is equal to 1 in control register 0, CR0. Whereas if that PG bit is kept 0, in that case paging will be disabled even in case of protected mode. It clearly means that segmentation will be always performed within that memory management, but paging in real mode it is not at all available, but in protected mode it is optional. User can enable it with PG equal to 1 in CR0, or user can disable it with PG equal to 0 in CR0 here. And once enabled, that paging mechanism, paging unit, it performs page address translation. And here, this page address translation means linear address of segmentation will be converted to physical address. Okay, it clearly means that if paging enabled, then this segmentation would have performed that first phase of address translation, segment translation, logical address to linear address. And as paging is enabled in that protected mode, this linear address will be converted to physical address. So address translation probably in protected mode is performed in two steps here. Segment translation, that is logical to linear, and page translation, that is from linear to physical. And this paging unit, it uses a demand paging algorithm. On demand, those respective pages will be brought in and copied to main memory and will be used by the processor. It is a demand paging algorithm and not the anticipatory paging algorithm. Okay, one should know that in case of paging, there is a demand paging or anticipatory paging. But anticipatory paging is very difficult to implement. That's why it is not used here in the architecture of 80386DX processor. And then the last point which I have stated here is about size of each of that page, that is equal to 4 kilobyte. Every page will be of 4 kilobyte in case of 80386DX. Now the last comment. Why this memory management unit is a built-in hardware in the architecture of 386DX processor? In fact, memory management is the function of operating system which is implemented through software only. But why that memory management has been implemented here in a dedicated hardware in the form of memory management unit which contains segmentation and paging unit? The reason is that whenever the speed of operation is concerned, for performing certain operation, then hardware is always faster compared to software counterpart. So memory management can be performed no doubt by operating system. But the dedicated hardware units of segmentation and paging can certainly perform the address translation, necessary address translation, in much faster than that of operating system counterpart. Okay, that's why dedicated hardwares are used here. So this is all about